Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. And first I want to apologise, I've been really busy and I sort of said this in my last video I posted earlier, but obviously not everyone watches my baseball videos. I just want to basically I've been a bit busy with everything going on, and I explained it in my update video as well. But yeah, I apologise for that. It's going to probably be a bit up and down with uploads for the next few weeks, but I'm working to hopefully get it back to a point where I can be very consistent, because that's what I want it to be. But obviously with things going on, I can't really do that at the moment, but I still appreciate the love so much. Like, genuinely, everything that you guys are saying, like, I read through all the comments. It's so heartwarming, because I can't imagine how I'd be feeling if I didn't have any of this YouTube stuff. Because if I had all this stuff going on, and I had none of these sort of supportive comments, God, I'd be in a dark place. So I do genuinely appreciate all the love that you guys are giving me. Secondly, hopefully you guys are doing well with everything that's going on in the US. Since my last upload, things are going crazy, and I just want to send all my love to everyone, all my love to you, all of you guys in the US, with everything that's going on, because man, it's crazy. What we're experiencing now, from what I've seen on Twitter, it's insane. Obviously I can't speak too much because I don't know 100% what's going on, because I'm not from the US, so you guys will know more what's going on. But yeah, hopefully you guys are safe, staying safe. This video, the top 10 most athletic NBA players of all time. Quickly, just from the title, I searched, because it said 48 vertical from MJ. I didn't just realise how crazy that was. So I searched this: how high can basketballers jump in feet? The average vertical jump from men falls between 16 to 20 inches, while it is around 12 to 16 inches for women. A good vertical jump is one that's over 2 feet for males and 20 inches for women. To excel, how men need to get 28. The fact that the average vertical for a human is 16 to 20, or for a man is 16 to 20, and Jordan can do, or MJ can do 48, or he could do. I didn't, because I knew 48 was high, but I didn't realise just how high this was. But yeah, sorry, I'm rambling at this point. I just wanted to sort of make myself realise how crazy that is. But let's get into this and see what crazy sort of stats or crazy attributes or abilities that players have. Let's get into this and see what this video is about, man.
Greatest athletes in NBA history. A few months back, you may remember we looked at the best current athletes in the league, but when on the all-time list, only a couple of current players make it, because we've seen that many great athletes throughout the course of NBA
MJ's
history.
a specimen, man.
Getting right into it though, for honorable mentions, there's Dr. J and Dominique Wilkins. I mean, Julius Erving was ahead of his time,
Never even heard
and
of
for
these
his
guys.
size and having a 41-inch vertical, he was more agile and able to maneuver his body a lot better than he should have been, which was how he was able to hit his iconic layup and his historic dunk. While Dominique Wilkins had a 42-inch vertical leap and was able to combine that with some of the most powerful dunks of all time. And there was really nothing to measure his power or Dr. J's agility to put it into perspective, which is why we're saying that they're
I'll just turn this up a little bit, because I don't know if it's a bit too quiet for you guys, just to make sure.
Honorable mentions. Now for the rest of this list, we're counting down from 10, with 1 being the most athletic player of all time, but the order isn't going to be exact or anything. Players are just going to be in a general area of where they should end up ranking. So keep that in mind. And for number 10, we have Dwight Howard. And we're obviously talking about Dwight before all the back surgery and everything took place, because after it, he's never been the same. Before it though, during that run he had from 2004 to 2012, we got to see some of the most insane feats of athleticism in NBA.
Look at his arms!
I mean, first off, he's been 6'11" and between 265 and 280 pounds throughout his career. And he could run up and down the court with anyone on fast breaks or getting back on defense. I mean, the coordination and body control at his size was something we had just never seen before. Plus, he was as strong as anyone in the league at the time. And, of course, could jump out of the gym. And we saw a lot of that in games when he would block shots to the 5th row or dunk on anyone. But it was all the dunk contests that he was in that really showed us the kind of athlete that he was,
I don't know if
and
I've seen
how
these.
great he was all around for his size. Alright, not every dunk contest. I mean, really, what happened to Dwight Howard? Some people said it was the back surgery or whatever that changed him as a player, but no. Compared to who he was 10 years ago, this past dunk contest proves that he's just whack on and off the court. Number 9, Vince Carter. There were very few guys in the late 90s to early 2000s that were able to dunk like Vince did, and there was no one that could fly through the air, maneuver his body, and hit 360s and windmills like him. And it's
so easy as well.
Way ahead of his time in that aspect, because there's still
look at that picture
guys in the league today.
I'm sorry, but that picture, is that an iconic picture? Because that's sort of just just the look of this just makes me feel like this is just a picture that's sort of held in high regard. like I think it's is it the MJ and Kobe picture, like when they're sort of side by side? I think that's the picture that I'm thinking about. Like that's not obviously maybe not to that level, but like sort of like in the sense it's like just held in such high regard. That looks incredible though.
Time in that aspect, because there's still only a handful of guys in the league today who can throw down like he was doing back then. Overall, he was a great athlete, but his 43-inch vertical was definitely the biggest thing that helped put him over the top as one of the greatest of all time. Oh, and let's not forget about his dunk completely over 7'2" Frederick Weiss in the Olympics.
Oh my
Number
god.
8, Giannis.
Of course.
In my current best athletes in the NBA video, I didn't even include Giannis because my mindset was him being 7 feet tall and being able to do the things that he could. Didn't mean he was a freak athlete, it just meant that he was a freak of nature. But I'm seeing it differently now, and I'd say that he is in fact one of the greatest athletes of all time, and the most dominant player since Shaq. The man 7 feet tall with a 40-inch vertical can realistically guard every position and could almost play every position too. I mean, someone the size of some NBA centers shouldn't be able to sprint down full court in 3 or 4 dribbles and finish with a Euro step the way James Harden can. And let's not forget that these two dudes are the same person.
Oh my god. How old was he on the left-hand side, on the picture on the left-hand side? Because, Jesus, that sort of... I mean, it shows he's worked hard as well, because obviously he's got the height, but to have the ability to be as strong as he is, he still had to work some like insane level. And I guess because people usually, when people are taller, they've always, or not always, but it seems to be that they have a higher metabolism, so they have to, or not a higher metabolism, but they have to eat more. So the fact he's probably putting a lot of hard work just for like the gains, etc. But mate, that transition.
No matter how hard some people work, not all athletes are able to make a transformation like this. And because he did, it played a huge part in him winning his MVP in 2019 and possibly winning his second if this season ever resumes. I mean, honestly, in the 2019 one, he didn't take many jump shots and only shot 25% from 3, so he won that MVP mainly just off of his freakish athleticism. Number 7, Shaq. It's without question that Shaq is easily one of the greatest athletes in NBA history. And if you're someone that thinks he was just a great player because he was big, then you're wrong. Because for him to be able to do the things that he could do at his size shouldn't have been possible. I mean, you look at his Orlando...
Look at him next to like a normal-sized guy. Look at that. He looks like a kid. That's the one. I would probably look smaller than that, to be honest, because I feel like that guy's still a bit taller than me. God damn.
Magic days before he put on a lot of weight, and he not only still had the brute strength to bully players down low, but could also keep up with anyone running up.
Yeah, I remember seeing this.
And I mean, he was on the Magic when he completely tore down those 2 backboards in a game and caused the league to reconstruct rims, backboards, and entire goals to prevent him from doing it again.
The influence to do that, bro.
Let's not forget, for a while he held the record for the highest vertical reach ever recorded in NBA history at 12 feet 5 inches.
Jesus.
On a bunch of weight, putting him well over 300 pounds on the Lakers, and for the most part was still able to run up and down the court and keep up with everyone else while being a successful, dominant player. And when he was in shape, it was a good thing because it made him that much more dominant and really still able to bully anyone on the court, and that's what made him truly unstoppable. I mean, a guy that size, over 300 pounds, shouldn't have been able to move around and jump and dunk like he did, and that's what made him an incredible athlete. It's just a shame that he wasn't in the best shape possible more often. Number 6, Nate Robinson. Usually the league's greatest athletes are able to turn that into all-time great NBA careers. That's not necessarily the case for Nate Robinson, though, because he was only 5 foot.
Yeah, this guy's been suggested a lot. I've not actually done a video, but I've heard a lot about this guy in the comments. I'm excited to see what he says about this guy, because I mean, just looking at just his physique, he looks insane. But I'm pretty sure he can dunk, and the fact that he does that at 5'9", like, mate.
And don't get me wrong, he did have a great career given his situation, but out of everyone in this video, he's had the least best career overall.
Okay.
But hey, for a 5'9" dude, I think he made the best out of his situation. He still holds the record for most slam dunk contest wins ever.
Most?
For doing things like dunking over Dwight Howard.
Oh my...
And that and blocking Yao Ming have always been some of his best.
What? Wait, I think I may have seen that in a video. I may have. I don't know, but... He blocked... Oh my god. He blocked like 7'5" Yao Ming. There's pretty much 2 inches or 2 feet between them. Oh my god.
In terms of his in-game athleticism, though, I've always compared Nate to the mini version of LeBron James.
That's
If Nate
mental.
was a foot taller, he would have been LeBron. He had a 44-inch vertical, was
God
one of the
damn.
quickest and fastest NBA players on the court at all times, making him one of the pound-for-pound best athletes that the league has ever seen. Number 5 belongs to quite possibly the pound-for-pound best athlete in league history in Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook, man.
And that's what he's been
Baller.
widely referred to as for a few years now. Many people have him as the best athlete in the league, but honestly, since we're looking at all-time athletes, Russ has to share this number 5 spot with
That's
prime
fair.
Derrick Rose. Neither of their abilities truly show up on paper, but it's clear that nobody's as explosive as Russ, with the ability to either fly down the lane and dunk off of 1 foot in an instant, or either stop on a dime and pull up for a jump shot. While it's also clear that never in league history have we ever seen someone with the agility and body control that Derrick Rose had. I mean, he could bounce off defenders, fit through tight spaces, and create impossible angles to score whenever and however he needed to. Not even to mention he was nearly just as explosive as Russ, and could dunk off of 2 feet like he was in 2K. And I will say that both men were pretty much equally as fast as each other, and they both had slightly different forms of athleticism. The only main difference between the two was that Russ's body could keep up with his, while Derrick's couldn't. Number 4,
Because of the injuries, yeah,
Zion
that's
Williamson.
fair. Zion.
Here's the thing. In 2015, 16,
Not-
17, 18,
not
and
Zion.
19, for the past 5 years, Russell Westbrook was
It's alright, I was speaking over that, that's my bad. I was memeing myself for how I say his name. Wait, let's go back to that. I'll turn it up a bit. I don't know if it's too quiet.
Zion Williamson. So here's the thing. In 2015, 16, 17, 18, and 19, for the past 5 years, Russell Westbrook was picked as the NBA's best athlete in a
Wow.
survey of every league
That's
GM,
wild.
and that's one of the reasons he made this list. But for the first time in 5 years, he wasn't picked as the best because the spot went to Zion.
Wow.
He was voted as the best athlete in the league.
Okay, that's levels, man.
1% of the votes. And I've talked about him as an athlete on the channel a lot, so I won't say too much more aside from the fact that depending on what we see him do with his athleticism throughout his career, he could possibly become the number 2 best athlete we've ever seen in the league when it's all said and done. Not number 1 though, because no one will ever take the number 1 spot, and you'll see why in a minute. For now though, number 3 and number 2...
To be there at the age of 19 or 20, I'm pretty sure he's 19. The fact that he's already there, mate, his influence on the sport's going to be second to none.
Also had to put them together, because I'm not making a
Okay.
decision for who's the better athlete between LeBron James and Michael Jordan. I will say I'm slightly leaning towards picking LeBron, but I think we're better off just keeping these guys together. I mean, LeBron is without a doubt bigger and stronger than MJ, while Jordan could jump much higher and had far better body control.
They're both
LeBron's
just
6'8",
insane, man.
260 his entire career, compared to Jordan's 6'6", 216,
Okay.
while Jordan has had a 48-inch vertical compared to LeBron's estimated 44-inch. With both of them, I'd say being about the same in terms of speed. Now, neither of them have any real athletic weaknesses, but each also has certain strengths that are much better than the other.
Okay.
So honestly, the argument's pretty even. So let's just take a look at each guy from a historical standpoint. There's never been anyone close to having the combination of size, speed, strength, and jumping ability like LeBron does. I mean, he was always one of the top players in the league in each of those categories, let alone all of them. And if you were to build an NBA player from scratch, it would probably look a lot like him. While for Michael, I mean, again, if you were told to make an NBA shooting guard from scratch, it would be Michael Jordan. We know how great Kobe Bryant was, but one of the things that set him apart from MJ was Jordan's vertical was 10 inches better than Bryant.
Wow.
And aside from that, he had a great combination of body control, agility, and speed that he needed to become the greatest player of all
48's
time.
nuts, by the way.
But neither man was the greatest athlete of all time, because without a question, number 1 goes to Wilt Chamberlain. And instead of
Okay,
just
I've seen this guy suggested a lot, and I feel like this video sort of it's built on like how the players were in their generation. Because obviously, if you look at certain things now, it's easy to say like LeBron looked more athletic or he done certain things better than him maybe. But I feel like if you sort of put it in a sense of like how they were in their generation and how they were like against players like they were playing against, it would make a lot more sense seeing this. And I have seen comments of this guy. I've done videos to him, and they were nuts. But what people have said about him, like this guy was unmatched in his generation.
explaining to you why he's the best, I'm just gonna list off some facts. By the time Wilt was entering high school, he was already 6'10". In college
God.
at Kansas, they had a 12-foot hoop, and Wilt would dunk on it regularly. But if that wasn't
12
enough,
foot,
it
man.
said that he used to be able to grab quarters off the top of the backboard, which was 13 feet off the ground. And he was able to do that thanks to him having what was reported to be between a 46 and 48-inch vertical.
Forget what I just said. Like, you don't even need to bring generation into that. To have a 48-inch vertical, like, obviously, I'm guessing it's people have it up for debate. But that to even be a suggestion, bro, that's insane. Like, him and MJ, like, known for like being the best, having the best vertical in like the league history.
And if you don't believe that, here's a picture of him blocking another grown man's jump shot.
Oh my god!
And Wilt's got to be at least 4 feet above his
oh
head,
my god!
which means his head is definitely above the rim here. He also used to back up to the 3-point line, take 2 or 3 steps, and would dunk all of his free throws until a roller made against it. And multiple newspaper articles back that up. On top of that, he once broke another man's big toe because he dunked the ball so hard and it came down and hit him in the foot. And these are just a small amount of the on-court examples of how great of an athlete he was. And with all the stories out there, I could honestly go on for at least an hour, but we don't got that kind of time. I will say though that he was also one of the best track and field and volleyball players of his time.
I think I remember seeing that as well, actually.
Nobody comes near to rivaling Wilt Chamberlain. But comment what you thought on the rest of the list.
Didn't he go into volleyball after basketball? And I think he was doing track and field before basketball, so I think I remember seeing that. And the fact that you're doing track and field as someone who's that tall, bro, because obviously like, to be like, I feel like to be a really like good sprinter or be a good runner, the best sort of bodybuilder is to be shorter and like sort of bigger legs and like just like that's like the traditional build. Obviously, there's like people who sort of break the law of physics. I mean, Usain Bolt's an example. He's like 6'3". And yeah, obviously this guy's way taller, but it goes to show that if you have a certain drive, I guess, or just a certain amount of athletic ability like this guy had, that does make sense as to why he was number one actually. Because I mean, to be good at to be in track and field alone at that height is absolutely insane. Let alone the other sports that he was in. Man, this was a banger of a video. I really enjoyed this actually, and I want to see the comments because I like seeing people sort of general perception of like what the video was. For Wilt, you could have mentioned the fact that he played professional volleyball when he retired from the NBA, even in his 50s. In his 50s, I didn't realise it was in his 50s. Oh, mate. If his pictures alone don't prove Wilt was the best athletic player of all time, I don't know what will. If he was to play today, oh my god. Yeah, that whole generation thing was off. I do apologise for that. That whole generation thing was off, man. If he was playing nowadays, he would probably still be held in that regard, number one, man. Because they're playing all different sports. I did forget, like, how many sports he played in and how gifted he really was. Why hate on Dwight? He's still more athletic than most big men. He was massive, bro. He was huge. How's Dwight like? He's a perfect role player for the Lakers. All I know from Dwight, or I say all I know, what I know from him from playing 2K, he's always there for the rebounds, bro. He's always there for the rebounds. He pisses me off so much. But yeah, I can't really speak on that. I don't know too much about him from watching videos of him, but he's a name that I know of, so I know he's a big time player. Too early for Zion, my god, he hasn't even played a whole year. The fact that he was ranked, was it 4th? And I'm pretty sure he's 19, he's not even 20 years old. That is mental. But that is the volume. Some people will hold him in that regard. That shows the volumes of like where he's going to reach, man. And I've said this before, but I'm so excited to be able to experience his career now going into the sport where he's now starting. That's going to be an absolute experience, man. Like, we're pretty much the same age. I think he's like a year older. That's going to be an experience, man. I'm excited to see how that sort of pans out. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. And yeah, hopefully we'll be back with more consistent uploads. Until next time, like, subscribe, peace.